And winner!
Winner!
Mark Williams!
Winner!
Spink! Yeah!
Winner!
This season, probably.
Yeah, I felt that you know, we've played them 4 times and nothing's been easy against them. They stop you playing. I just spoke to Ian, and it's the first time they've played a sweeper, and they've played a sweeper against us at home. So it shows you a little bit of respect he had for us. Once it went, you know, he needed to go and chase the game, and then we got a couple of little chances when he took his sweeper off and shoved Cunningham up. I felt the last 25 minutes, I thought we were the one who looked like going to win it. Dean's had the one chance, there was an appeal for a penalty, the lads seemed quite adamant that it was, but you know, you have to go along with them things. I mean, I was more disappointed with the 2 bookings that we got and they didn't get, if you know what I mean, so you just have to accept it.
The first hour we've been hanging in there basically, but the longer the game went on, the better we came.
That's right, that's the beauty with us, and that's why I say, well, I think we need to keep playing, you know, because we thrive on playing. You know, again, we started a little bit, you know, hesitant, a little bit dizzy, and the longer, as you say, the longer the game, the last 25 minutes, I thought we were looking like winning.
And our next 2 games, Rochdale and Preston, they played one another and had a real ding-dong today. They're not going to be easy, are they?
Oh, no. Well, there's no easy games. I've said to the players here, I said, we'll take each game as it comes, but I do think at this time of the year, it's an important time. You know, what you do now might just give you a little bit of joy at the end of the season. So, you know, I think it was a good point. We haven't scored, but the nice thing about it is we haven't scored, but they haven't.
We've been a little bit worried that on occasions on muddy surfaces we've lost our way, and perhaps that doesn't help us. Yeah, I mean the pitch out there today was pretty.
Yeah, we talked about it again at before the game. I went out and had a look at it, and right down the middle it was you know, it was, if they'd have had any more rain it wouldn't have been played. So you know, we needed to get the ball into Louis Donovan, into Brownie as much as we possibly could, and let them. You know, that's where we were just trying to get it into wide areas and attack them from them wide areas as much as we possibly could.
This second half, Brownie got...
Yeah, I felt that the incident with Brownie when he was brought down and nothing was done, you know, if it had been the other way, I think it might have been a booking. So I just look at things like that and I just wonder sometimes. So you just take it, don't you?
I think it's going to be quite a tough match, to be honest. They've got 2 big centre forwards who they're probably going to launch balls from all angles at them. So it's going to be difficult, but if any team can beat them, it's us.
I thought the lads did well. I thought they battled well. It was one of them games where we knew that they were going to come down and try and intimidate us, and that's what it did from the first minute. You know, a few players got booked. What the referee tried to do was stamp his authority on the game quite early, but there was still times where there was a lot of things that were getting away that he wasn't speaking to players for, and other things, you know, that he was just letting go by. But you know, in the end, I thought when they come back into the game, I thought that obviously things were just going to change from there on inwards. They started to play a little bit. They stopped the intimidating aspect of their game and tried to play. And when they did, you know, they scored a brilliant goal. I still thought that we was going to win it, but you know, it's one of them games. We still never lost, and that's the main thing.
First goal, I think, was Mickey Brown might claim it. He'd done a good little weaving run and he shot across the goal, and I think it took a deflection off one of their centre halves and just crept into the back stick. I was saying to Russell at half time that the 2 lads up front for them, the 2 big 6 foot lads, they didn't have the balance that you maybe a big man and a small man, and Whitehall come on for Lancaster at half time and he chased and he made runs in behind, and he got on the end of one of Williams' flick-ons and he buried it. You know, a great finish, and you know, we had the penalty at the end, which was a penalty, and Gary Patterson looking for his first goal missed the target, but you know, it can happen to anyone. Just keep going now. Got a game Tuesday and we'll see what happens.
Physical, there was a lot of bookings, and our first goal was I thought was a good goal. Michael Brown linked up with can't remember who it is now, but it was a good goal. Just went in off one of their players, and I thought we deserved to be in the lead in the first half. And second half, when they come back out, it was a good goal, good move by two of their players. I think it was Williams who flicked it on, and their substitute come in and scored a good goal. And basically it was a game I wish I hadn't missed, because it's the sort of game I like, two big centre forwards up front. And the referee, I thought he wasn't very good. He gives some bad decisions, give a lot of bookings, and I thought their centre half, the number 5, should have been sent off. So just keep on fouling Dean.
I mean, if you'd have said to me Thursday, that you'd draw on Saturday with the problems that we had. I mean, Tommy Lynch has had a fitness test at 11:30 this morning. He's done brilliant to play, because he had a tweak in his hamstring. And Dave Walton just Thursday went up for a ball, to head a ball, and his back foot slipped as he landed, and he's just tweaked a hamstring. So I think Mark Blake's done magnificent to play. I rang him up yesterday and I just said that I needed you. What's the chances? Because I'd driven up Thursday night to Sheffield Wednesday to see if I could get Julian Watts, and they played York, and they wouldn't let me. They said he's in the squad of 15, because it was an important decision. And when Mark decided he said I'll play, I was delighted with that, obviously, and I think he's done brilliant, really.
Must mention the penalty. Gary Patterson hasn't scored for the club.
He wanted it. He was the one. I mean, I was shouting at Evo, and Tommy didn't want to take it. And it's all a matter of. I know people will be disappointed, but it's a matter of someone with the bottle to want to take it. And Gary, no one could get the ball off him. So and he stuck a few away. For reserve sides over at Notts County. So, in fairness to the boy, if it had gone in, no one had said anything. But he's had the nerve to take it. So. I can't complain about that. I mean, I've been delighted, obviously, to have got the 3 points.
And the thing was, once again, he'd been an important factor in the game.
Oh yeah. I mean, the thing is, the danger when this is it with Clarkey. The only reason I took Clarkey off is because Dean was hurting him with pace, and I thought if I get Bruffy, I mean, it wasn't a game where you could play into the middle of the park and then set up which Clarkey sort of likes. And I thought just Bruffy getting in with Dean as well, and we'll cause him a few problems. And he had a great chance, Bruffy. He's tried to burst the net, and he's only got to, head it in. But anyway, having said that, once you get a penalty, then Clarkey's sitting on the bench after. There's only 10 minutes to go. You think, oh dear me, because he's the cool brains, isn't he? He's the one who can slot the thing. But there we are.
Yeah, I mean, that chance that Bruffy had was very similar to the goal he scored at Colchester last season, from almost an identical situation.
Yeah, that's right, and the lad hadn't been on that long, and it is difficult. You need to get into the game. It was just a gamble. 11 minutes to go. I asked Mosini, he said there was 11 minutes to go, so I thought, oh, go on, well, we'll, at least we're positive and trying to go and get the game. Yeah.
A very important game today, Joe.
Every game's important, Russell.
Top of the table clash though, Joe.
Yeah, no, I'm only joking. It'd be nice to win and get the 3 points today, because that'll push us, I don't know how many points above Preston, but it's a big game because it'll make us, Preston will need a few wins to catch us up if we beat them today.
Give us that when we sit down.
Well, the Preston game, it was obviously our chance to avenge the 6-1 defeat that we'd taken on earlier in the season. They'd also beaten us in the cup, so it was a big game for us, especially there being a top of the table clash and a bit of a 6-pointer. And at the time they came to us, they were on a bit of a bad run. It was the same old usual game that you normally get against Preston. They came out, long balls. I think the most I had to do was taking crosses. Can't remember many direct shots he had. But I think the turning point of the game obviously was
the foul on Louis Donowa, which was a second big offence. The guy's been sent off, and then we've knocked a great ball in, and then Tommy Steen in the far post for the goal. And I don't think we were really ever in any trouble. And I remember them taking Ellis off, which we was quite pleased when they took Ellis off, because if anyone's going to give you any danger, it's going to be Ellis.
I think one goal might just do this game either way.
Go on, Louis.
Donowa outside, good turn.
Yes.
Tries to find Clark. Headed away. Free kick right on the edge of the area. Referee was right on top of it. Had an excellent view of it. From Shrewsbury, a free kick.
Lad will get booked here as well. He deserves to.
Looks to throw himself in front of Donowa as he tried to come into the box.
I think there's a little bit of play acting there.
Well, we saw him do it in the first match here in the FA Cup. Seems to be a bit worse than we imagined.
No, I think they're going to send him off. I think the ref sent him off. Just waiting for him to get up.
Sandy Fensom that's down, right back. I can't remember if Fensom's already been booked. He hasn't. Yes, he has. Fensom makes the long, lonely run from the far side to the tunnel.
He seems to be running well enough. I don't think, as I said, I think it was a bit of play acting there. He knew he was going to go off.
He's trying to delay the inevitable. Preston down to 10 men. Taylor with the free kick. Williams to goal by Tommy Lynch at the far post. Tommy Lynch comes in on a great free kick from Mark Taylor and puts it in at the far post.
I don't know what to say.
Yeah, fellow Irishman of mine. Good header. Good, well worked free kick.
Good free kick into space at the far post. Tommy Lynch comes in.
The advantage can't be more instant than that.
It's put them now 6 points behind us, and they're going to be there in the shaft. They're going to be in and around it. They'll be about, in there. So it just gives us that little bit of cushion with them. I don't know, how the other results have gone on at the moment, but I've heard a couple have gone down. So you've just got to keep in there. It's a difficult game. You've seen the game, and it was always going to be decided on a free kick, a corner, or something of that nature, wasn't it? So no, I'm delighted with the game.
With regard to free kicks, we've obviously been working on them. Stitch Walton's been narrowly wide of the post with one, scored with one that was offside, and we've got the win.
In the past we've always suffered because they've had a little bit of height, and the beauty of it now is that we've got a little bit of height. We can swing people around a bit. When you think that we've got 5 or 6 with decent height, Patterson, Spinky, Lynchy, Walton, Williams, and we can throw people around a little bit, which is good, and we create little spaces for ourselves, and the little spin work great for us. You're delighted when they come off, obviously.
And you said before the game you weren't going to treat them with quite the respect that you had done in the past, and it was, well, we carried the game to them. It was obvious that we looked better that way.
Yeah, as I just said about them, I just said 3 things about them before the game. That was, I wanted 2 people on free kicks at every free kick that we had. I didn't want Clarkey or Dean in their half when our keeper was kicking out, because they do all that sort of thing. And in fairness to them, it stopped them coming out. They did come out a couple of times at us, but it stops them coming out at you. So I was delighted. I think Louis Donowa's done better as well for us today. He's got a threat. I think he was unlucky. The one in the first half, he's got there and he's just tried to, outside of his foot, knock it across the box, and he's got a bobble, and it's finished up going over the top of everybody. But he got there more today for us, which is important.
And we created some quite good chances. I mean, Clarkey had a header, Batters had a couple of shots.
Yeah, Dean's gone through it late on as well, hasn't he? Yeah, but you know, with them as well, is if you don't score, if you don't put your goals or your good advantage into goals, you're always going to be, even when they had 10 men, you know, you're never happy against them. They do it, they do their system, and they play the way they want to play it, and they're difficult to beat, and that's why I'm delighted. And I said when we played them in the cup, I'll be more pleased to get 3 points off them than if they beat us in the cup.
Shrewsbury obviously are on this incredible run of 15 games undefeated. It's now 16th of October since they last lost an away match, so high hopes today for that run to carry on. As far as Edwards. Edwards throws out quickly to Lynch. Shrewsbury on the attack now. Breaking quickly. He's got Clark through the middle and Brown outside him. Chooses Brown. Patterson gets inside. Rigby knocked it in. Just cleared. Smith knocks it into Spink. Spink turns. Slips over to Dawes. Dawes tries to find Stanislaus, but Brown picks it up. Patterson into the right wing position. Rigby, who's been battling away all match, comes away with the ball now, moves into the Shrewsbury half. Knocks it into the corner. It's a good looking ball for Stevens. Stevens tries to knock it into Carter. It's a penalty. Carter seemed to fall over Mark Taylor's legs. The referee's given a penalty, and it's Carter who usually takes them. Scored a few this season. So it's Carter against Edwards. Carter runs up now and scores. It's 1-0. Williams doesn't seem too happy. Seemed to be innocuous challenge. But Carter's made it 1-0 from the penalty spot. That's his 18th goal of the season. What do you think of the challenge, Russell?
I saw nothing wrong with it. Taylor just went in for the challenge and just went over him somehow, fell down.
Like to Mickey Brown, got a lot of space to run into on this right hand side. Brown attacks that space now. Stanislaus comes across. Ball goes through. Clark's there, and it's away for another Shrewsbury corner. And comes through to Taylor. Taylor, the good ball inside for Brown. Brown runs into the corner. Oh, did he speak against the post? Bracey was beaten, all ends up. Tries to find Clark. Clark flicks it on. Spink will chase. Spink chases well into the box now. On his own, no. Patterson comes up to join him now. Finds Brown in the corner against Stanislaus. Brown comes inside Stanislaus, inside the box, and shoots. Just screws off the side of his foot as he went to hit it. Walton comes off Stevens. Stevens runs into the box. Time to get the goal line. Does so now. It finally finds its way through to Tony Kelly. And it's 2-0 right on half time. It's an excellent save from Paul Edwards from the first effort. And Tony Kelly was there on the back post all on his own to put it into an empty net. 2-0 just before half time, and now Shrewsbury got a mountain to climb. Flicked on. Carter's there. Carter knocks it back to Stanislaus. Stanislaus deep into the box. Misses it, comes through to Kelly. Kelly back into the box. And against the bar. New signing Mark Rutherford, about to make his Shrewsbury debut. Signed from Shelbourne this week. Former Birmingham City junior. Rutherford makes his way over to this left wing, which is his natural position. Spink turns inside, knocks it long for Brown. That's a good ball from Spink. Brown can run into the corner. Gets it now ahead of Stanislaus. Stanislaus wins out and it comes out to Rigby. Berry moving it on. It's a good ball out to Kelly. Kelly just fails to control, ball squirms through his legs. Picks it up now. Runs again at width. Goes outside, tries to get to the line. Ball's run out for a goal kick. Luchetti heads it into the air. Heads on from Clark. Patterson into the box. It's a good save from Bracey again. Another good save from Bracey. Bracey's really kept him in the game in the first half with 2 excellent saves. And he's just stopped Shrewsbury getting back in with another save. Strong run from Patterson. Bracey was out to meet him. Rutherford. With again. Tries to find Spink. Finds Spink over the top of Cross. Rutherford. Rutherford goes to the line. Tries to get it in. Comes through to Clark. Unlucky Clark tried to flick it back for Taylor. That's a penalty. Clark brought down by Morg. Similar position to where Taylor committed the offence that gave Berry the penalty in the first half. And I must say it's a similar sort of challenge. It looked pretty innocuous, but the referee's given a penalty for it. And Clark himself steps up to take it. Clark scores. Bracey went the right way, but Clark struck it well into the corner. Shrewsbury back in the game at 2-1.
I don't see what the foul was, but I think it was pulling the shirt or something.
Cross on his own. Heads it as far as Taylor. Taylor scoops it up for Spink. Spink brings it under control. Knocks it back to Rutherford. Rutherford got room to run. Challenges Cross. Keeps going to the line. Knocks it in now and go through to Bracey. He finds Rigby with a good throw. Rigby's got room to run into. Stevens moves away from him now. It's a good ball to Stevens. Left all on his own. Dawes running into the box. Left all on his own. Clark flicks it on for Spink. Spink tries to turn, comes inside to Taylor. Taylor's there. And Spink scores! That's a good move from Shrewsbury. Taylor moved down into the goal line, pulls it back for Spink. He puts it in. Makes it 2-2 with about 10 minutes left. It's no more than Shrewsbury deserve in this game. And that's Spink's 16th goal of the season. We've already seen Carter score his 17th goal of the season. Spink scores his 16th goal of the season to make it 2-2. Stevens comes away from 3 Shrewsbury defenders. Brown does well to get it back. Taylor could find Rutherford. Rutherford's got some space. If he can get round Cross. Goes inside Cross. Goes on a run now. Cuts back inside. Well done Rutherford. Finds Spink. Back to Taylor. Taylor's got width to his left. And Patterson to his right. Chips it forward for Clark. Into the box. Clark score the first goal for Shrewsbury. Finds Rutherford. Rutherford tries a deep cross to Spink. Spink's offside. Just inside the box. Kevin Summerfield coming on. Wayne Clark going off. Clark's had an influence in this second half. He won the penalty that got Shrewsbury back in the game and coolly slotted it to Bracey's right. Comes back to Cross. With comes away with it. With picks the ball up and runs strongly. Still on a run. Chris With. Rutherford goes outside. He's found by With now. Rutherford in some space. He can run into the box. Goes to the line. Crosses in. Comes to Summerfield. Summerfield tries to find Spink. Just knocks it into the path of a Berry defender. Williams with the ball. Out to With. Man on now. For Stanislaus. Stanislaus heads it out to Stevens. Stevens comes forward. Taylor's underneath it. And Williams clears again. Spink with Luchetti. Luchetti turns and tries to head it back to Bracey. Spink does well. Strong challenge from Spink. Finds Rutherford on this side. Rutherford challenges Cross. Goes at Cross. Locks it in. Oh! Yes! It's a goal from Mickey Brown! Brown followed in after Rutherford had crossed it. Summerfield shot, saved by Bracey, come out to Brown, and it's 3-2 to Shrewsbury with about 4 minutes left. What a cracking goal from Mickey Brown. He hasn't scored for ages, but that's a timely goal from Mickey Brown, and it could give Shrewsbury 3 points. 5 minutes left. Brilliant run from Rutherford to set that up. Summerfield found his way into the box, saved from Bracey, knocked in by Brown. 3-2 to Shrewsbury in the 86th minute. Rutherford now under pressure from Cross. Williams told to clear by Edwards and does so into the side. With many more than a minute to go. Taylor back to Rutherford. Rutherford to Patterson, show no ill effects. Away by Cross and back in by Williams as far as Summerfield. Trips over the top as Rutherford can run onto, or Stanislaus tries to find Bracey but decides against it, turns away. The ball comes through to Taylor, into Rutherford. Summerfield. Summerfield again. Summerfield into the box. Just challenged by 3 Bury players and they come away with it. And that's the win for Shrewsbury after being 2-0 down at half time. They win 3-2 with goals from Wayne Clark, the penalty, Dean Spink, and the winner from Mickey Brown about 10 minutes before the end of the match. A good win for Shrewsbury.
I thought for the first 25 minutes we played some of the best football we've played, and that would have goal down, and I'm thinking, oh dear, and then they get one. We're 2-0 down at half time, so you know you just have to pick them up. You know, the heads were down, and I just have to pick them up and get them to believe in themselves, because I said the chances are there. I said it's not the goals you concede, it's the goals you score. It's, you know, if it's going to get you out, that's what. Don't worry about what goes in there. You know, we're 2-0 down, but we've got to go and look for goals. And you know, I'm delighted with the result. It's a tremendous result for us, isn't it?
The 2 penalties were somewhat similar, shall we say?
Yeah, I don't want to talk about that, obviously. You know, the people here who can see it. Marky Taylor said he didn't. He said he let the lad have the touch and then he went to play the ball and the lad come across him, so he's give it. I mean, they hadn't done anything up to then, and then it gives them the edge. You know, they're winning 1-0 and we've got a battle on our hands.
Yeah, the run continues basically, but I mean, did you think at half time that we could come back?
Yeah, I always believed that we could come back. I mean, we had so many chances in the first half. Dino's hit the post, and you know, we've had so many chances where we've gone. I mean, Bury, in fairness to Bury, they score goals, but they concede goals, and it was always going to be one of them games, I felt. You know, they went last year. I was talking to their people today, and they reckon it could have been 7 apiece at Crewe last week. So it's just important that you believe that you can go and get goals, and it's nice to see Brownie. I was delighted with the little lad. Rutherford come on and made the winning goal for us, and he's only a baby, he's only 21, so I'm delighted with him.
You've had him before, you said that he got certain qualities, you can still see him?
Yeah, he's honest. The only thing that worried me about him is whether, like being playing over in Shelbourne, as to whether the pace is, but he's just an honest lad who's prepared to keep running at people, and you could see that in the half an hour he was out there, and when he gets there he's prepared to get the ball in. So I thought Summers had scored in the first place, and then Mickey's come on and he's put the winner in, so that was great for us.
But basically we just wouldn't lie down?
No, well you can't, can you? You know, I've said to them we've got 15 games and we've got to take each one as they come and just keep going for it. And as I said to you, it's this thing about scoring goals. You know, we've got to be prepared to go in there and look for goals.
The difficulty now is getting them back on the bus before Tuesday, isn't it?
Nah, not really. No. They know what we've got to do. We've just had a few little words in there. You can hear them there in the dressing room now. But you know, we've just had 5 minutes together right after the game, and we'll have a little chat on Monday as well. I just felt that when things are going quite well for you, you get a little bit cocky in the wrong areas, and their second goal came from us trying to be a little bit too clever and not dealing with the thing.
And what you're telling me is we've got a game on Tuesday. So.
Correct. Yeah. I thought we were at home there for a bit, but it was a great following. I don't know what we brought, but a great following. Was it?
150 behind.
So it's good for them, isn't it? It's smashing. I mean, the 3 goals are, you know, to come back 3-2 after being 2-0 down is tremendous. It's 3 points. That's the important thing, isn't it?
Do they surprise you? Do you think? Like it's 16 now. Do they surprise you the way that they do?
No, you've just got to make sure that you don't crucify. I said to Muzzy at half time that if we can come back here, we'll show the character of the side, and we kept going at them, and they know that we kept going at them. We don't lie down, and that's the beauty of the side at the moment.
So like last season, 2-0 down at half time, something like
that. Yeah, that's right. But we just believe that we're, we keep going at people, so we're quite pleased with that.
Wayne, is it?
He just chased one in there. It's not the groin, it's the adductor, and he just felt it going, and so we had no hesitation in just putting Summers on. And the nice thing is that you've got Summerfield, and I've got Donaldson on. He's just waiting for a reserve game now, and he'll be okay again.
So February's man in some instead of January, is it?
No, I don't want it. I ain't having it.
You've got any choice this month,
no, I'm not going to have it. I won't have it. Don't want it. Don't want it. It's a jinx.
Something we're not used to, a defeat, and I suppose we've got it all to start again.
Yeah, I thought they outplayed us in fairness. We didn't play tonight at all. Having said that, they've had 2 shots and 2 cracking goals on their behalf. So, but we didn't get anything from the game because we didn't deserve to get anything from the game. We didn't play. I think a couple of people didn't start. They still had Saturday on the mind, and I tried to warn them about it, and it's a little bit frustrating. You feel 1 defeat in 17, but it still doesn't make it easy. It's hard to accept. I said to Muzzy when we equalised, I thought that's brilliant if we can get a point even. It keeps us going. And then, like, Kevin's made a half rick up holding the thing, trying to play the young lad in. But we still had the 2 centre backs marking one, and we've got tangled up, and he's hit a cracking goal. But frustrating really.
Basically, we didn't play. We tried to play their way instead of playing our way.
Well, we didn't. 1 or 2 players, and I ain't criticising the players in that sense, but 1 or 2 players thought it was a bit too easy, and it was in their mind. It might just be what we just need, because we've got 13 games now, and that is a great warning for us, isn't it? That Wickham's come here, Preston comes here, and they don't need any motivation. They go there. 1 or 2 went out there today and thought it was going to be a little bit easy. Don't start, and you can't pick yourself up then. It's very, very difficult. We only started when they scored their goal. That was the only time we started. It's too late then.
So basically, it's back to basics, as the man said.
Well, we'll talk on Thursday. I've just said to the lads I ain't going to crucify them at all, because they've done quite well, and there's 1 or 2 arguing with each other, which is a good sign. And I said we'll talk about it on Thursday.
And as you normally say, we've got a reserve game to think about.
Yeah, we'll play tomorrow. Tufty was, he's played 1 game in about 5 or 6 weeks, and I just felt I think we missed Clarkey a little bit. Dino missed him anyway with his guile and his talking, because that's another thing that you miss with the experienced players, is the way they talk and handle a thing, and so we'll just take it.
And Clarkey holds it in there as well, which we didn't.
That's right, we didn't do it. I said to Tufty and to Dean, I mean, in fairness to Tufty, the goal came again. Their first goal came from him shouldering it back at us, and he's only got to touch it on for Dean, and he's finished up shouldering the ball back. But the lad's just coming back after injury, so we've just got to take the rough with the smooth and get on with it.
If the next 13 are as bad as the last 13, you'll settle for that.
Of course I will. Aye. 2 great goals. I mean, as soon as he stuck his foot back with the first one, I mean, it's a great volley, wasn't it? And the other one, Bomber didn't believe he'd gone to ground. I said, if you'd have stayed up, he said, I thought I did. But having said that, when it's come down, there's the lads in between Bomber and Stitch, and Stitch doesn't have to go for it because it was beating him anyway. He's only got to just come round Bomber. But you're talking of a 21-year-old and a 20-year-old. And
you come to expect so much of those two, haven't you?
Well, that's right. That's what I've just said to Muzzy. Now you come to expect so much that we, a defeat like that, and you think, oh dear me, the world's falling apart. And we've got 13 games to go, haven't we?
Even so, that run, like the 16 games, has been a tremendous run. It's been tremendous entertainment, hasn't it?
We've still had a go. Yeah. I mean, we've still had a go. And when Stitch has come on and got a great goal, like from the corner, I thought, brilliant, we've got out of it again. Which we've got away with it.
It's you just sense that it's a blip, right?
Let's just hope so. Now it might just be what we needed.
You might shake them up for the weekend.
Because you don't need to. You just sort of forewarn them about it now. That it's hard work for each other that's got us there.
That's right. Was Wayne almost right, or he might go for the weekend?
Hopefully, he could. We tried him out this morning, and he just slow jog. But as soon as he went moved anything, he could feel it. So, and there's 13 games, isn't there? If he misses one game and plays the rest, whereas if he'd have played tonight, he might have been out for 4 or 5.
And is Dave Hocker doing there, or is he
just had a little setback again. He's frustrated with himself. He keeps pushing himself, and he gets there, and instead of just taking it easy, he wants to.
Yeah.
But it's one of them things. Isn't it? I'd have been proud of their 2 goals, the way they've took them.
That lad, and he's 17, isn't he?
Yeah, he played against the youth team. Yeah. But he's took it well, hasn't he?
7 minutes into his first team career, and he scores a goal like that.
Brilliant, huh? Could have hit the post and gone out the other way.
Yeah.
Take the post and come all the way across. But you get that, don't you? I mean, it's Dean's done that at Doncaster, and it's gone all the way across the line and come out. Yeah, they've done it then. It's gone in. But they are.
Unfortunately today I won't be playing with an injury to my thigh, so Marky Taylor will be moving over to the right hand side, and Kevin Summerfield will be coming into play in the middle of the midfield with Gary Patterson. So I think obviously that make a few changes for their team, knowing that I won't be playing, because obviously in the last few months or so a lot of teams have been looking out for myself and putting 2 players on me and trying to make it very difficult. So they'll have to change their plans now, and I'm hoping that will sort of confuse them a bit. Hopefully it'll have a good benefit for us on the day.
With out to Taylor. Taylor looks to go outside, cuts back in, gives it to With over on this near side. Plays it back to the other fullback, Lynch. Collier comes and then stays, and it's Clark. Patterson finds Spink and Clark. Clark tries to find Rutherford, just cut out. Just come through to Slavin, ref stop play. Clash of heads there. All Darlington attackers congregate around that far post. Left for Cross, heads it in now. Bounces off, comes through to Grogan, shoots against Tommy Lynch. Still bouncing about in the Shrewsbury box, and Darlington are taking the lead. Difficult one to control. Patterson back in the thick of things already. Summerfield onto Spink, back to Summerfield. That's good play from Shrewsbury. Summerfield on a run now, pursued by 2 defenders. Ball not just a touch too far forward. Collier collects on the edge of his 6-yard box. Was better from Shrewsbury. Patterson, back to Taylor. Challenged by Chapman, but Taylor still got it. Knocks it deep. Rutherford's in, still Rutherford. And Rutherford smacks it against the post. Good run and turn from Mark Rutherford. Just smacked the outside of that upright. Taylor can come forward with it. Knocks it over the top for Spink to chase with Crosby. And away. For another Shrewsbury throw. Certainly looking more positive in the second half. Clark, nice touch for Clark. Dolly, it's a goal! Mark Taylor has scored his first goal, first league goal of the season. Collier came out to meet him, but Taylor slid it past him as Collier went down. Good play, good work from Summerfield, good work from Clark. Spink onto Taylor again. Taylor in a similar position. Puts across, oh! It almost came through to Spink. And Mark Smith coming on for Tommy Lynch. Tommy Lynch seems to be shaking his head. Something's definitely gone. The way he was talking to Malcolm Musgrove as he came off. Carrying some sort of injury. Mark Taylor had already moved back into that right back position. It's the ball down to Taylor. Good ball from Mark Smith. Summerfield in some space, finds Clark. Good save from Collier. Good run from Clark. Summerfield saw him and found him with a decent... Plays it back to With. Looks forward for Spink. Spink under pressure. Ball bounce off Spink. Rutherford can run forward. Lucky bounce. Lays the ball across and it's cleared by Grogan. Ended in a 1-1 draw. Darlington will be quite happy with that. Shrewsbury could have really done with 3 points to consolidate their position at the top of the table.
Manager getting a bit worried about it, so he put your full-back.
Yeah, it is my first goal of the season. No, the manager's not worried at the moment. Tommy Lynch had a bit of a slight hamstring strain. We're going to take no chances with him, so I just slotted in, and Marky Smith went right wing. Leading up to the goal, it's a throw-in we've worked on just yesterday morning, and it seemed to work a treat. When ball went into Wayne, flicked it off for me, took a touch, and it was in the net.
And very nearly got a second one just after.
That's right, it was a flick through by Dean. I ran onto it. Again, I tried to roll it across for Dean, but the defender just got in front.
I mean, you've proven your versatility. You started the season on the left, you played in the middle most of the time, right wing and full back, right back today. Yeah, what else do you do? Karaoke?
No, I do like playing in the middle, but like if we struggle in other positions, I'll just slot in and do my best for the team.
And basically that's with the squad that we've got, everybody's prepared to do that, and that's why we're doing so well perhaps.
That's right, we've got a very good squad here, and the lads all know if they get left out, you know, they've still got to chip in and cheer the lads on.
And we've had, well, Bruffy we can't get rid of, he comes to all the away games, but I mean there's a good following even away from home from the lads.
That's right, the lads they come on a Saturday morning, travel on the coach with the lads, even though they know they're not going to play. I'd just like to say thank you to the crowd that turned up at Bury. It was a great support there.
And I suppose to a certain extent the crowd will be a little bit disappointed, only 1 point out of 2 home games, but these things have got to happen. We're just going to keep chugging away and picking up points where we can.
That's right, I feel sorry for the crowd, but the lads are disappointed as well. After losing midweek, it was going to be difficult to pick themselves up for today, but at the end of the day we're happy with the point.
I thought the lads did very well. It was a game we needed to win because we'd had a few mediocre results. It was a good away game to go to. The weather was good, the pitch was good, and I think we went out and we just went out with an open mind to play well, and the result paid off as such. We had to wait a long time for the goals. But when the goals did come, it proved that patience, you know, is something that we've tried to get through to the lads all year. Patience will always pay off. Dave Walton's header for the first goal, just generally what Dave had been doing all year, getting on the end of crosses, corners, and putting a finishing touch to him. As for the second goal, I think that says all about what Fred's been trying to get through to the lads about passing, keeping the ball, looking for openings. With 13 passes, we eventually got it and Dean's stuck it in the back of the net. Exactly what he's been doing all year. So at the end of the day, when all the fans have travelled down, paid the money to come and support the lads, we gave them what they really deserved. And at the end of the day, we were well happy with the result that came about.
Who played early on in the season, was very solid as well, experience, you know, which is what you need in a successful side, as well as the youth. You need the experiences, which we got in Dave. And then Dave's had a long injury and came back in the Gillingham game, and I think he'd only played an hour's football, and you know, he never really looked like he'd been away. So every successful side builds on a strong defence, and apart from the first 3 or 4 games of the season, that's what we've had. And if you look at the goals against record, I think we're in the top. I think we're second at the moment. And last year I think we finished 3rd or 4th. So if you're going to have success, that's what you can build on, and that seems to be what we've got.
The goals at Gillingham was something that we've tried to work on, especially the first one, with Dave Walton getting on the end of a good cross. And also with Joe's in there. I mean, him not being the biggest, I think his contribution was to more or less to sniff around the box. But if you look at the goal, you can see Joe does his bit by just getting across the keeper, which seems to impede him. And when the keeper does try to make a save, he only helps him putting the ball in the net himself. As for the second goal, it was well worked on the right hand side where David Ockaday had come back in, and I think it was his presence and his bit of composure and his experience with keeping the ball, passing it, and then looking for the opening, which worked the second goal. And going on to Dave Ockaday, the way he came back into it and helped steady the defence again, having played with two left backs, one on one side, one on the other, and generally changing over. With Dave coming back, which helped again settle and balance the defence, which this year has been the strong point of the club. Looking at the clean sheets, we've only conceded 35 goals, I think, up to now, and 6 of those came against Preston. So I think the defence has worked very well, especially with David Ockaday on the right, Mark Williams, David Walton, and either Tommy Lynch or Chris With on the left. I think it's said a lot for the club when you've got a good back line to work with, and then your midfield comes in, and then your front line. So I think David Ockaday that day did very well to come back in after a bit of an absence, and helped set up the second goal as well.
Yeah, obviously the first 15-20 minutes are vital to any game. I think if we can get a good footing in the game and obviously try and get an early goal, I think we could do well, yes.
Yes, good. And you think it's going to be a positive win?
I would think so, yeah. Obviously we need wins now, especially at home, and with 10-11 games to go, we've got to try and get maximum points.
Goals being crucial for today?
Yes, although they've picked up of late. Obviously we went up there early on in the season, beat them 4-1 I think it was, which was a good result that day. Hopefully we can get the same sort of result today.
And there's no other problems with players with injuries that might be carrying, or?
No, there's a clean bill of health for the lads that are playing at the moment, and hopefully it continues that way.
And the squad's looking forward to today's game?
Very much so, yes. We'd like to give a show for the crowd today and hopefully get that win we need.
And let's hope the crowd performs as well.
That's right, yeah. That's such a vital part of any club, and there's no exception here.
Good. Well, thanks for coming out and having a chat.
What, to see if there's one in there?
Yeah. Quite clever, actually, thumper.
Hey?
Quite clever, thumper.
Is it? Yeah, that's the problem then. You'll have to have a CAT scan.
Yeah, stay there. I'll make sure he's picking up.
Come on now, you've got quarter now, let's start getting your mind on the job. Come on. 20%. Keep telling you, you're coming home, you've got no divine right to expect anything, any favours, we've got to work for what we get.
Come on, Ockers, get him in there, Thomas, get him in there. Michael, I just learned.
Quite a catch yourself to down, so if you just set yourself and take it's quite hot headed.
Mark from the start, ready? Winner! To you now, to your left hand.
Boys,
Mind on the job, that's what we're here for. We started off last Saturday, and I'm telling you, we started off sloppy. No matter what anyone else says, we did a magnificent job getting a result. You start off sloppy at home, and all of a sudden you put yourselves under pressure, because you get no pressure from me. You'll create it yourselves. I want you to go out there and enjoy yourselves. Get at people and play. David, no nonsense. It's got to go, it's got to go. Yeah? Dino, cheering around the box, Dino. No nonsense with the referee. No decisions. No silly, walk away from decision. Yeah? Don't kick the ball away, Bomber. 10 yards, don't kick the ball away. Don't kick the ball away. Don't clear the line. If it's got to go, Bomber, it's got to go. And so, early doors, even if you're in there and you're not happy with Stitch, just say, hey, Stitch, just drop in 5 yards away. Take it to the come on, outside. Fucking straight to the start. Come on, Bob. Come on, boy.
All the best to you, Dave.
Come on, don't be afraid to have shots, lads, if they're there. Brothers, if the shots on, have it. Liv, if you get yourself an opening and there's shots there, have it. Come on, boys, mate. Don't do it. Not tell me it's a habit. Get out of it. Because all of a sudden you'll do it and you'll be focused. Joe, nice, bouncy, lively performance. Get us at it. Get us playing.
Joe, in, out, call it to that.
Live men, get there, Joe, if you want to show. If Brownie ignores you, get yourself back in the box. Come on, guys. Brothers ignores you, get yourself back in the box. Nice fucking lively. Let's be together in it. That's the important thing. I'll boil it. Things, keep it going. Things, come on. Things go against you, encourage each other to keep going and keep having a pop.
Come on. First 10 over there, you pull me out. I'm just tough to on this, mate.
No. Yes. Come on, boys. Brothers up round here in front of you and we'll spin, and the other one I want in the box.
Come on. Come on, lads. Good start. Get up. It's about like a good start. Come on. Come on, boys.
Get frustrated. Frustrated. Don't get involved. You do. You're talking to me. Stop it.
Come on, it's all this job. It's a moment of time, mate.
You know it now. If you give it the sack, they'll come in and go at it. If it's there and you want it, no, you have to do it all the time.
Come on, lads. Nice and lively.
Come on, boys! Start! Come on! See it, lads! Come on! The important thing is that you're together. Don't become individual other than Joe or Dino in and around the box round here, brothers. Let's work together. Brothers, come on, don't give all that for nothing. We've got to earn it. I'm sorting it, it's a big bed anyway. Come on, boys! Boys! Come on! Get a couple. We're delighted for you. Have a go. Get out there,
Stop it, interesting, guys. Yeah.
For us. You know, we could have, we had enough chances in the first half to have probably made it more comfortable. But no, the important thing at this stage is 3 points.
Joe Gallen and Dean Spink did a good job together today.
Yeah, Joe's all right. He just dies. In fairness to him, it's difficult for him in as much that you know, playing at reserve team level, you get the adrenaline, the tension, you know, and in the last quarter of an hour, 20 minutes, he's gone. But then I've just stick Donaldson in there, and you know, we're all right.
Joint leaders tonight with Chester. Does that make you feel a lot better?
I don't know. I didn't even know. I've just said to the lads here, they're all asking about results. I said, forget about them. I said, it's a matter of us doing our own job, because that's what it's there for. You haven't got enough points yet, so you've got to go and do your own work. Don't rely on other teams. But obviously, if that's what you say, I'm delighted.
The defence generally too played exceptionally well, I thought, particularly in the second half.
Well, I felt that first 10 minutes, quarter of an hour, I think they've hit the bar, and we've had a couple of little dicky spells, and we started a little bit like that at Gillingham. We think, I've just warned them, before the game, that you ain't got no divine right to think that you're going to come and do things, because the next 4 are going to be ever so difficult against teams who are fighting for their life, and we've got to be prepared to match them and do, and when we get that little bit of ability, which, with chances that we can open teams up, let's hope we take them.
Do you find that a little bit tense at home compared with away?
Not really. We play a game where we play 4-4-2. I mean, we are one of the sides in the league who play with 2 wide men, and people look at that, but the 2 wide men work hard because they work back as well, and we track them. And we leave either it's Joe or Dean or Clarkey and Dean or whoever else is up there, and we leave them in, and we break out. And away from home, teams seem to come at you more. Goals maybe seemed a little bit difficult to come by at the moment.
Hockaday and Mike Brown worked well together today.
David Hockaday is important to Mickey Brown, very important, because he never shuts up at him. Mickey can clock off and go walkabouts, and David always keeps at him and at him and at him and tucking him back into good areas. And Brownie appreciates it and respects David because of his experience and his knowledge.
One thing we haven't been doing at home is scoring the first goal, and it takes a bit of pressure off then.
Yeah, we was under a little bit of pressure just before, and there was a mad scramble, and the chance I missed, obviously, but maybe 12 months ago that would have been me finished for the game, but determined to score, determined to put the next chance away, and I did.
A bit ironic when you run out to make your home debut and you look in the other goal and see a bloke who you played quite a bit with.
Yeah, I couldn't believe it. I met another mate of mine who's at Scarborough, and he said that Shep was in goal, and I thought, no, I can't believe that. We've known each other for, 10 years now, and he's come to Scarborough just to build up his confidence. He's a good keeper, really. He might not have had the best debut, but I'll go and see him now and remind him about my goal. I was really pleased that I scored against him, but we're good friends. We're good friends.
And 10 games to go.
Yeah.
We've just got to keep making it hard for everybody else.
That's right. The performances don't really matter now. We've just spoke to the gaffer, and he's just said, it's just 3 points. It doesn't matter if we play absolutely awful. We could go on the last minute. 3 points is 3 points, and obviously, and doesn't matter how we play. It doesn't really matter who scores, although if you ask me and Dean, if I'm playing I want to score, and Dean wants to score, but as long as we get the 3 points is all important.
Second game playing up front with Dean, the understanding beginning to come a bit better.
Yeah, I've been so used to playing in reserve football, and you can play reserve football all day long, and the pace is different in the first team, and I need a few games just to get into it, and if selected, then I'll get the match fitness which is required, because in the reserves it's a bit slower. So just a fresh pair of legs, Tufty come on at the end just for me. And yeah, me and Dean will, obviously with games, we'll get an understanding with more games.
And Ayr have got a B international coming up, so it wouldn't hurt if you got a few.
It wouldn't hurt. It's maybe a bit late now for me. If I'd have maybe got in the team and scored a few more goals earlier, who knows? But I'm only interested in getting this, helping the town go up.
And keeping that shirt on your back, basically.
Yeah, keeping the shirt on my back. There's a lot of competition here. Wayne Clark's injured. He's vastly experienced. Everyone knows that. But if I can just reminding the manager of the club that I'm here and here to stay.
Well, Gary, it's unusual these days for Shrewsbury to stay overnight, but of course the long trip down to Torquay, you did travel down the day before.
Yeah, but with clearing away a lot of games, I think the journey was going to be quite a long trip, so the gaffer decided earlier in the week that we'll be stopping over.
The game itself, Torquay, when they came up to Shrewsbury, played well, and they did again, and it was quite a battle in midfield for you.
Well, we knew it was always going to be a hard game with them playing a sweeper, and it came that straight from the start. I mean, we didn't have many chances to goal attempt. Viv had a good effort towards the end of the game where he hit the post and the rebound fell in the keeper's arms, and it was a game with a few little chances.
The thing was, though, as the more the game went on, the stronger we became, which is the way things have been going this season.
Yeah, that's happened a lot of times in this season. I think as we break teams down, we keep carrying on getting stronger and stronger as the game goes on, but we just couldn't find the final touch in goal.
And I suppose now we've got to hope that the way we've carried on to the last whistle in each game, we're going to carry on to the last game of the season and make sure that we've got something to show for it at the end.
Yeah, that's it. I mean, we haven't relaxed yet. We've still got 4 games to play. Hopefully we can keep playing as we have been all season and go as champions.
One last request before the end of the season's a Patterson goal, isn't it?
Well, I'm hoping. I mean, I've put enough money on myself to score the first goal, so I think William Hill, I'm due some money off them.
Game today, how do you see the thing going?
Well, hopefully it's another 3 points for us. It's a derby game, very difficult, so hopefully we could get the points and go on and get an automatic promotion.
Do you feel that the pressure's beginning to tell on the lads, or are they, well keyed up for it?
No, I suppose there's a bit of pressure there, but when we've had a run that we've got, and it's still going, it's 1 defeated 21 games. It's superb, and the lads are very confident, and you'll see that hopefully this afternoon when they perform.
Want to make a prediction?
I make no predictions, no. Because I'm like these fellas who sit on the panel and they predict somebody's going to go on to win the cup and they get knocked out, so I'm not going to say anything.
full time.
Last season we might have quit about half time.
Yeah, we just talked about that. We were getting a little bit frustrated and moaning and groaning at each other. And I just said that, you know, they've come here, they've paid you the best respect ever, because they've come with a sweeper and they haven't been playing a sweeper. You know, and Greg sits in that little hole and kept clearing things up. So we needed to be patient and just wait for our chance to come and, you know, Dean put the thing in for us to. And I just said, strange enough, I said, what you need to do is if you can get the goal as late as possible, they can't change things then. You know.
2 substitutions, and in a way they nearly both worked, because Summers went on and looked as if he was going to score, and then Rutherford was involved.
I just said to Joe when I brought him off that Joe, for the games he's played for us, has looked lively even for an hour and a quarter. And I just said to him today, I said, you looked a little bit leggy even from the start. And he said, well, we weren't passing the ball. I said, no, but you may just have let that affect you as well, you know, and his head went down a little bit. But he's only a young lad, and, you know, he's just had 4 games on the bounce, so, you know, he's part of it.
And Lincoln City on Monday.
Difficult game. They came here, you've seen how well they can play here. You know, the important thing was to get 3 points today, because if you'd have probably got 1 or something like that, you know, at least you've got 3 points. The more 3 points you can get between now and the end of the season, obviously the better for you.
And whereas there's still 4 sides, well, in there going for the top 3 positions, then there's a bit of a gap opening up off the pace a bit.
You've just got to, I've just said to lads, don't worry about their results, because you haven't got enough anyway, and you've got to do it yourself. So, you know, you've just got to keep going and playing each game as it comes and take it from there.
And Tommy's been getting closer.
Yeah, I mean, we worked on a free kick that Tommy comes late and hits them, and we, you know, screamed out the box for him to hit it direct, and he fancied it. So, you know, it was a great free kick, wasn't it?
And the other one came from a set piece as well. So the work that's going in is paying off.
Yeah, we've scored a few this season from our pieces, because we know it's going to be difficult. We showed an awful lot of patience today, and you know, it worked in the end of the day.
And also the crowd showed quite a bit of patience as well.
Yeah, I mean, I think they understand that they've got some honest lads out there who are committed and are going to have a go. I mean, you know, you look at Woodsy. I thought Ray Woods has done really, really well. He's ground Clarkey, he's got a Clarkey, and the reason I did Ray is because I thought they may just come and play a sweeper, and I thought in and around the box he might do it. And in fairness to him, just before I brought him off, he's gone inside there and he's had a shot where Judges made a good save, and probably if we'd have had someone just sniff him, we may have got the rebound in.
But satisfying start to the holiday.
Yeah, the nice thing is that you know, you've got Summerfield who wants to play, you've got Blake who wants to play, you've got Clark who wants to play, you've got With who wants to play, and they're all batting at the bullet. And I've left Rutherford out today, so you know, it's a nice, healthy thing. But the spirit in the camp is tremendous at the moment. It's just keeping a lid on it.
Yeah, and there's enough games left for them all to get a chance as well.
Yeah, I mean, I've just said the same 14 on Wednesday, and I've just taken Wayne Clark and Bruffy, so that's the party that will travel on Monday. And I'm taking young Ian Reid. He's an apprentice lad, and I've just included him in the first team squad for the first time. He's done really well again this morning, and in the youth team, and I'm taking him along. I just want him to get a feel of the thing.
Yeah, he scored this morning, and he takes the free kicks a bit as well, doesn't he?
Yeah, he's going to be not a bad player, I think, young Reedy. So I don't like to say too much about the kids, but because they get a little bit heady. But he's done ever so well, the kid, and I just want to take him and show him what it's about.
Somebody says hit it over the stand. Wasted a bit of time, didn't they?
That was Stitch. Orders from the gaffer.
Yeah, hit it over the stand.
My record of free kicks are not the greatest, so it was kind of waste time. But
Hit it over the stand.
Need a chance.
Just put it in the
so confident, not a problem. I do it in training all the time, really. I just don't know why I don't do the match days. You know? It's too easy for me. Hitting it over the stand or hitting the wall. That's my favourite.
Well, he looked everywhere yesterday.
A very cold and blustery St Hill Bank for this Easter Monday fixture, Lincoln City against Shrewsbury Town. Shrewsbury making a good start to the Easter holiday period with a 2-0 victory over Hereford on Saturday, albeit hard earned. The goals coming in the last 10 minutes. Lincoln are having a bit of an up and down time at the moment. They've won 4 of their last 10 matches, but they've lost 5 of those in the same period, and they're having a bit of difficulty scoring goals. Of course, they finished Shrewsbury's unbeaten record the beginning of March with that 2-1 victory at the Game Meadow. And obviously Shrewsbury will be looking for revenge today, although the players and the management are playing that down a little bit. Ball swung in. Clark's there. Away by Spink. Tommy Lynch going to swing this ball in with his left foot. It's the near post. Walton's there, so is Williams. Through to Dixon. Still Dixon. Hockaday puts it out. Comes down to Dixon again. Now it's Hockaday. Can he come away? Taylor's in. Foul by Taylor. Referee had already given the foul. Gary Patterson put that challenge in. The referee wants a word with him.
Woods. Good tackle. Foul by Dave Walton. Plattner coming beside him. Free kick just outside the box. Bad position to concede a free kick there.
Yeah, Johnson tried to con the referee then by diving into the area. It was well outside the box, but all the same, it is a dangerous position. Clipped forward by Hockaday. Clark tries to knock it on towards Brown. Plattenau's there, so is Brown. Brown gets there in front of him. Still Brown. Good play from Mickey Brown. Held back, it's a penalty. Mickey Brown was held back by Plattenau as he went past him. Plattenau seems to think Mickey Brown made the most of it. It's a penalty. And in these situations, it's good to see Wayne Clark back in the side. Clark against Leenan. Hits the bar. Skied it. Smacked against the bar. Matthews let the ball run intelligently. Now it's Johnson, top scorer, Dave Johnson. Inside the box. Just run past the post. Beat Paul Edwards. Foot in. As Edwards went down, it just trickled past the post before Ben Dixon could get onto it at the far post. Comes through to Dixon. Dawes. Good ball from Dawes out to Plattenau. Plattenau tries to go to the front post. Ball runs out. Plattenau cuts it out. And Johnson brings it down well. There's a good challenge from Walton. Linesman was given a free kick. Walton played the ball. The linesman gave the free kick. Dave Rydens comes across to take it. Another dangerous position. Rydens. It's in the air. Still in there. Tangle of bodies and it's run round for a corner. Taylor did well to carry it over the line. Another corner. Mickey Brown will get there first. He does. Skips away. Still Brown. Moving into the Lincoln half. Just failed to get it through Plattenau. Lincoln coming more into it late in this first half. With two decent chances. Looked like a dive from Johnson. Johnson was going down before Walton even made the challenge, but the referee's going to book him for it. Johnson certainly makes the most of these challenges.
Woods cuts inside. Another good effort. Hits the upright. Gets in the middle.
Another good chance for Lincoln.
Clipped forward by Lynch. Patterson comes to meet it. Taylor gets around the back of the defence, ships it forward. Oh, just past the outstretched boot of Mark Williams, tried to get on the end of it. Flew past him. Long throw from Hockaday. Taylor comes to meet it on the edge of the box. Back to Hockaday. Dixon goes to meet him. Hockaday to the edge of the box to Patterson. Patterson takes one touch into Brown. Brown comes in and scores! Mickey Brown puts it under Andy Leaning. It was superb play from Gary Patterson. Found Mickey Brown an excellent ball, and Brown shot first time under the advancing Andy Leaning.
What a wonderful goal from Mickey Brown. Placed it well. Underneath there, Andy Leaning.
What about the ball from Patterson?
Yeah, lovely ball. And Brown just slotted it away well.
Comes out to Mickey Brown. Mickey Brown out to Hockaday. Shrewsbury really in the ascendancy now. Hockaday into Brown. Back to Hockaday. Brown is who picks it up himself. Really buzzing. Tries to get round Plattenauer. Does now. Leaves it for Hockaday. Hockaday chips to the back post. Off the top of the bar. And out for a goal kick.
Chesterfield came here, like most teams we're finding coming here at the moment, played a very negative attitude towards us, played 5 men at the back, flooded the midfield and just played 2 up front. I think they were carrying on from, apparently they hadn't been beaten for 5 games away from home, hadn't conceded a goal either, and that's what obviously they were hoping to do against us. The game itself was a bit flat. It was a typical end of season game for them, I suppose. Obviously we are still striving for the points to get up there, and yet, you know, you'd think that they'd be going for wins to try and get in the playoff places. The game itself was quite a low-key affair, and it really was just us hammering away, trying to break them down, which we found very hard to do. They were very organised, but I mean, it typified the game in that Eddie, our keeper, had one effort to deal with the whole game, and we were just pounding away. We felt we were a bit unfortunate with Brownie not getting a penalty towards the end, and I think that would have just sealed off a deserved 1-0 victory, but unfortunately it wasn't to be on the day.
Well, Fred, you were watching a reserve game today. Sometimes you see reserve sides coming down here and they play one way and the first team plays the other, but at Shrewsbury it's a bit different to that.
Yeah, we try and play right through. The reserves play 4-4-2, which we like to play, and we try mostly to do that with the youth team as well, so they can play exactly the same way. So they know if they do step in, like you're looking at here now, we've got 1, 2, got a couple of YTS boys playing, a couple of trialists playing. But we'll just stick to that principle of trying to play 4-4-2.
And then everybody, as you say, is comfortable with the situation, so they know what their job is.
They've got an idea of what they're trying to do, yeah.
It wasn't just the football that was the change as well. It was leaving home, coming to live with other people. And at first I found it very hard. A lot of the first team and the reserve team helped. A lot of the senior pros helped, made you feel welcome. Kevin Summerfield and the management staff made you feel welcome. And it showed in the first few games of the season. Myself and a lot of the other first year lads were very apprehensive in the games. They didn't want to get involved in the games, didn't want to touch the ball that much, and tried to leave it to the second years. But as the season progressed, we started getting a bit gelling as a team, getting to know each other better, started to become friends. And then after the Blackburn game, we changed our system. Kevin Summerfield came in and changed our system to gave us more licence to go forward.
At the start of the season, because the youth training scheme's a 2-year process, we'd lost a few of the players. We'd lost about 6 or 7. I've been released or took on as professionals, like Paul Evans and Jason Yates. So at the start of the season, there was 6 second years, myself, Ian Reid, Jim Mulvey, Mark Parfitt, Paul Evans and Paul Simpson. And the new first years had just come in. They'd just left school, so it was a new environment to them, coming from a school background and then into a working environment. So really the second years needed to help the first years out to get them used to what it was going to be like as a professional footballer. At the start of the season, as the results showed, we weren't doing too well because we weren't really getting to know each other that well, the first years and second years, and we weren't gelling as a unit on the pitch or off the pitch. As Kevin Summerfield testified, we weren't that good helping round the ground and we weren't that good during our games. But towards the middle of the season, when the first team were doing well in the Coca-Cola Cup, the confidence just went sky high throughout the club, and the youth team started to enjoy being with each other, enjoy training, because Kevin Summerfield had come in, started doing good training sessions with us, showing us a lot of new things, and we started with a new system. It started at the Aston Villa game in the youth team. We changed the system that the first team had used against Blackburn, as in playing a midfield man just in front of the back four. It proved successful for the first team, and it proved successful for the youth team against Aston Villa as well, because that really was the first good result we'd had all season, and it showed that the system had worked, not just for the first team but for the youth team as well.
I think with the club, the way the gaffer's got the club working, the youth team, they're playing a brand of football to associate itself with the club, and so is the reserve side, which then leads on to the first team. And when you've got the likes of Nathan, Lee Martin, Simo, they're all capable of coming in and playing a certain brand of football which is run throughout the club. Obviously I came when the lads were doing well against Blackburn, and that's when I started playing in the reserves. And luckily I've been given the captaincy. I stole it off John Brough at the time, who got injured. And John Brough is now vice captain. He's a good lad. He's a battler. He'll never play a lot of pretty football, but he'll be a battler. He's 100%er. And with players like that in the reserves, I mean, the first team couldn't ask for any more. As I mentioned, Joe Gallen, he's always on the verge. He'll always score goals, and he scored a lot of goals in the reserves. And I think the reserves wouldn't be where they are in a cup final and pushing for the league without Joe's goals. You've got Chrissy With, who's always in and out of the first team, who's a character on his own. He's always got something to say, whether it be right or wrong, but he'll always have something to say. Kevin Summerfield, he's always on the verge. I mean, he picks himself when he wants to. Like Hartlepool the other week, he knew when to miss out on that one. I think that, you know, you've got a good variety. You have of experience, of youth, and of people who are willing to give 100% for the club, whether they be playing in the first team, the reserves, and I think that carries on and rubs off on the youth team, which gives you a good balance throughout the club. And I think with the reserves, the way they're playing, there's one or two of the first team ought to be worried for the positions next year.
Another excellent reception from the large travelling support. A lot of people from Shrewsbury made their way up tonight, hoping to see Shrewsbury, of course, go top of the third division for the first time this season. Patterson out to Brown. Brown can turn. Space down this right-hand side. Brown cuts inside Graham. Graham's arm was out. Referee was right there. And Stewart now attacking Tommy Lynch. Still Stewart into the box. Shoots straight into the arms of Paul Edwards. Brown nips in to get the ball. That's Whitehall, brings it away for Rochdale. Jason Peake knocks it forward. There's good defending from Williams. Recovers to block and then lays the ball out to Hockaday. Strange header from Reed. Puts it back in the danger area. Rutherford's away. It's Butler who goes across to clear. Lancaster chips it forward. And Patterson trying to put it down the line to Brown. Now Taylor. Down Shrewsbury's left. Out to Rutherford. Rutherford made a good run outside him. To the line. And Thackeray now can complete the clearance. Now it's Peake. Clips it forward. Push. Referee's whistle had gone ages ago. For the push by Stewart. Winfield tried to touch on Edwards' low kick. Free kick's given. Williams attempting to stop the quick free kick. He's managed to get his name taken. Just over 15 minutes into this match, and Williams gets his name taken. And Taylor. Good run from Mickey Brown. Mickey Brown's inside Graham. He's inside the box now. Off the line. And coupled with that, there's been some excellent balls forward from the midfield and the defence to set the two of them away. Graham looks to the back post and Tommy Lynch stoops to head it clear. And Lynch comes out with Butler. Lynch is there first and he's caught by Butler. Butler was always going to get there late. From this angle, he was always going to get there late. Tommy Lynch got the foot in, knocked the ball away, and Butler carried on through and caught him. And Tommy Lynch gets a foot in and gets it away. Spink brings it down. Lays it inside to Summerfield. Summerfield on a run. Good foot in, but then it still runs out to Brown. Brown to the line. Gets the corner off Butler. Challenge from Rutherford. Rutherford's got the ball, goes forward with it. Challenged by Butler, who's come across to meet him, and Butler is, gets it away. It's Butler now with a free kick. By Lancaster. And away by Lynch. Graham's there with Brown. Brown gets the head first, and it's Brown who comes away from Graham, who's still onto the floor. Brown's got Spink ahead of him, he's got Summerfield to his left. Chooses to go inside Reeves, and then he's blocked by a combination of Reed. It was Reed and Doyle who came across to block him. Mickey Brown trying to force his way into that area. Mickey Brown drifting out to the right, getting the signal from the management on the bench. And Tommy Lynch is going to hit it. Does so, hits it against the wall. But the ball's knocked forward to Brown, and Graham gets a good foot in. Taylor uses Patterson over on that left-hand side. And ball inside by Patterson to Brown. Brown back. Bounces off a Rochdale defender, and Hodge clutches it gratefully. And Thackeray. Crossed in, headed down, and now it's Hockerdale have to bring it away. Ball out to Patterson, gone deep to help out his defence, finds Brown. Tommy Lynch left footed into the box, Walton's there, Spink's there, Walton's over his head, Hodge standing up, comes out to Stewart. Stewart jinks inside Tommy Lynch, beats him for speed. Ball in to Whitehall. It's away by Walton. And again, Whitehall's there. Some room on the edge of that box. Doyle inside to Thackeray. Reid for Whitehall. Edwards saw it, went through small crowd of players. Summerfield underneath it, flicks off the top of his head, but he gets it back, knocks it forward to Spink. Spink can chase it. Spink's through on Hodge. It's round Hodge. And he scored! Spink scored! That could be an important goal. A very important goal at this moment. We've been waiting for that for the last 60 minutes. Forward again to Spink. Spink with Butler. Butler's there, but Spink's in again. And he's saved it. Good save from Hodge. Away by Tommy Lynch. Shrewsbury going deeper now. In by Reid. 2 minutes after Shrewsbury scored, Reid gets the equaliser. Away by Lynch. Comes back out to Whitehall. Whitehall knocks it across the face of that area. Good effort. Snap shot from number 11, Jason Peake. Tommy Lynch, the free kick into the front post. Summerfield heads it on. Williams just fails to get on the end of it. Inside the goal line. Thackeray heads it forward. Lynch watches it and challenged by Reid, but still Lynch takes it away and gives it to Brown. Tackle again from Graham. Very late on Brown. Mickey Brown's not happy with it at all. Now the referee wants a word with him. Two or three crunching tackles now by Jimmy Graham on Mickey Brown. Still the referee hasn't spoken to him. Walton gets in at the back post. Rutherford brings it down, takes it outside Thackeray, and then gets the corner. Ball bouncing away off Lancaster. Ball goes out to Brown. Brown attacks Graham. Still goes at him. Outside him. Shoots. This time Williams is offside. Brown's away. Brown's away from Graham. Into Spink. Spink and Butler. Back out to Brown. Brown's onside. And he just puts it past the post. Jamie Taylor comes to meet it and knocks the ball out to Whitehall. Foot in from Williams. Lynch heads it on, and Walton, lovely clearance from Walton. Spink's away again. Spink's inside. And a foot from Hodge just puts it. Bowden it is who brings it away. And as far as Summerfield. Summerfield brings it down, knocks it back to Hockaday. Hockaday clips it forward towards Spink. Out by Spink to Rutherford. Rutherford's inside the box. Yes! It's a goal by Davy Walton. Looks like Davy Walton. Right on time, right on full time. Davy Walton was there before any of the defenders. Heads it in over the line. Summerfield away. And that's a great win for Shrewsbury. Top of the league for the first time this season. And that's made the travelling Shrewsbury fans really happy. I think that's the understatement of the season. The 2-1 win by Shrewsbury has lifted them to the top of the table, and now the challenge is to see if they can stop there for the rest of the season.
Last year and they squeezed us, we lost 2-0, and they keep squeezing and squeezing, and I just changed it and played a little bit like I played it against Blackburn, with just 3 in there and 2 wide men and, you know, front men. The longer the game goes on, their 2 central defenders who are Mark and Dean think it's easy, you know, and Dean's finished up, he could have finished up with a hat-trick.
They, after they equalised, obviously that set us back a bit, but then we created about 5 more chances.
We never know when to stop. We never ever know when we're down. I mean, you would have thought we'd have sat back a little bit. We're still going at them. you know, we hit them on the break, and you know, I was delighted with that. I was the two wide men got at people all the time and Dean with pace. That was the only reason. I just explained to Wayne why I left him out. I didn't think he'd have got a kick tonight, you know, because he likes to come and show and set up our play, and they'd have kicked lumps out of him tonight.
And Stitch turns up in the box just at the right moment.
Yeah, it was a bit of a shot from Ruthers. He'd had a shot just before that and nearly hit the corner flag, and like he finished up hitting that, and I think got a ricochet, and Stitches lobbed it over him. So no, we're delighted. I mean, you know, we've said that you know, if you can get, I know like at home on Saturday it was 0-0, and people get a little bit frustrated about that, but if we can get 4 out of every 2 games, I don't mind.
And just for once, you'd settle for the manager's a month award for April?
I don't mind if they give it me at the end of April, and or even at May. I'll probably take it then if we're doing something. The most important thing, I mean, just keeping our feet on the floor. We're probably a couple of games away from achieving what we started, so which is great for the lads.
Argue quite easily that they weren't too bothered about winning the game. They were interested in drawing, and therefore, that's why we controlled the game. But they stopped us. So, but that's twice now we've drawn against Shrewsbury, and I would say that Shrewsbury are the toughest side that we've played against.
Game, we've come away with a 0-0 draw, which we're obviously delighted with. We've had a tough schedule of 2 away games on the bounce, Rochdale and Crewe, and we've come away with 4 points. So obviously we're delighted with that. We've come here. It's been a hot day. They're desperate for 3 points. Obviously we'd have liked 3 points, but I think the main imperative for us today was not to concede and to come away with something, which we've done. We started off a little bit shakily, but I mean the lads have shown so much determination and resolution at the back especially, and to keep a clean sheet under that pressure, you've got to hold your hands up to the boys. We've done extremely well, and we could have nicked it. We've had a couple of efforts. Gary Patterson in the first half had a great effort from about 30 yards, and then Ray coming on in the second half cut in on the left and put in a great shot, and it can only have brushed the paintwork on the far post. So I mean we almost nicked it, but to be fair, a draw was a fair result. We're delighted, especially the defenders and the keeper Eddie, that we've kept another clean sheet. I know that's 8 or 7 clean sheets out of the last 8 games, so I mean that's a sign of a team that's going places, and hopefully we can maintain that.
The ball broke to me on the halfway line, and the full-back was slightly pushed forward. I picked the ball up and just carried with it, and all of a sudden a space opened for me, so I ran the ball into it and found myself on the edge of the box. I decided to cut back. As I was over on the left, I decided to cut back in onto my right foot and maybe try a curler in the top corner. That didn't happen because I was closed down, but as the lad threw himself in, I was able to jink round him and take the ball onto my left foot. I just basically hit it and hoped that it would have got on target. Unfortunately, it just drifted probably a foot or 2 past the far upright. I hit the ball well. It was just unfortunately that it wasn't on target.
Come and play 2 wide men, and they've attacked us. They reckon that's the best they've played for some time. It's not often that they don't score goals, no matter how they're playing. And at the end of the day, we finished up with a couple of good chances. Ray Woods has had one, just put him on for mark. I thought he looked really tired. Dino's had one, and Brownie's had one. And they've hit the bar early doors, and I think it was a header that just popped on the top. I think Paul was behind it. But it's not going to be easy. The thing is that they've got to. They needed to win, and we didn't need to lose. But we still come here with a positive attitude and play 2 wide men.
What struck me as well is that the team is playing as a team, as a unit. They're very committed to each other.
Oh yeah. I mean that's the nice spirit we've got in the place at the moment. It's no matter what we do, it's a squad situation, and I was dying really. I thought that it would suit Clarkey today because they do play. But having said that, Dean has done a good job up there on his own.
At the back though, Dave Walton and Mark Williams together, they're a tremendous combination these days.
Yeah, they just got carried away a little bit. I've just warned them that when they do come out their cage, just make sure that they give it to a blue shirt rather than trying to be clever. And they're tremendous at two young centre backs.
Kevin Summerfield, you played him in a sort of roving move in the middle, and he looks so aimless sometimes, but he's so skillful.
Yeah, and I just sat him in front of, because they do a little bit of, they come off you, they bounce off you, their front people bounce off David and Mark, and I thought that would cause us a little bit of problem, and I put Kevin in there, and in fairness to him, he's cleared up a lot of situations, and given the licence to break when he sees it.
Some might say, well, that's Crewe out of the way now. Got the run into the rest of the season downhill. Not the case.
No, of course it's not. I mean, the nice thing about it is, I keep saying it's in our hands, and we've got 4 games left, and we've just had a hard week. I mean, it's been physically hard for the lads this week.
I know you keep saying that you'll take each game as it comes, and you just want to think about promotion. But you must be pleased as punch that you're still top of Division 3.
Oh yeah, I mean the lads have said that that's a nice thing that we've stayed there. Speaking to Muzzy, and he said that at half time, the way they were playing and bouncing the thing around, he says, I'll take the draw. And I said, yeah. And I said, but with us, Muzzy, the way we keep going, you never know.
You've got your starting lineup, you've got other people waiting in the wings. I mean, Wayne Clark didn't make the starting 11. You've got a lot of players to choose from at the moment.
Yeah, it's nice. Mark Blake is forever wanting to get back in.
You know, and at one stage he thought he was going to be a regular. I've got Chrissy with as well. Got a lot of experienced players, and it's a good system for us.
And we're going to be third division champions, aren't we?
Well, we've got 4 games to go yet, James. You know me.
Another thing that all the players as a whole would like to say, just a big thank you to the supporters, because not only at home but away, especially these last 2 games, Rochdale and Crewe, the away support has been absolutely superb, and really it's felt like 2 home games. They've been out in numbers, they've outshouted the opposing fans, and they've been a credit to Shrewsbury and to the football team.
Which was a very difficult game for us, that Ian Atkinson just taken over the football club, and I know Ian and knew it was going to be very, very tight, and I felt there that we went up there and he played a sweeper against us at home, and it was very difficult. As soon as he took the sweeper off, we had a couple of good chances, and it was just a matter of getting something from these games that are very, very difficult. If we're not going to score, you know, we don't allow them to get into the game. That particular period, I was still trying to get different people in. I'd had Crofty in, I'd got Louis Donovan in around that particular time, and Louis had played at Doncaster. But I just felt that we were on lines. Ian spoke after the game and felt that we would be there or thereabouts. He'd seen most of the sides in the league, and he just felt that we were strong. And you know, by playing 2 wingers, which we like to do, we would always cause teams problems. So from then, obviously, you know, we're just trying to keep the thing going. You know, after a good Christmas period, it's just a matter of keeping the thing rolling. I would like to think that we could get a few more goals from other areas, which has always been a problem at the football club since I've been here. But you know, whilst we're not conceding and we're winning matches, that is the most important thing at the moment. Coming right through, we get then into the holiday period again, which I've said before is that I felt again it was very, very important following the Christmas period that we, you know, with I think it was 4 games in 12 days, and you know, we've out of that little package we've won 3 and drew 1, albeit the one that we've drawn has been at home. But that is a frustrating side when we're playing at home and teams are coming with 5 at the back. If we push further up, they'll finish up with 7 at the back. That again I take as a compliment, that teams look at us and they just try to stop us playing. So I look at it from there. At the end of that particular little period, or that particular little run, is the Rochdale game, which I felt was a tremendous result, along with the Lincoln away 1-0 and the Rochdale game. I felt was a tremendous. And again, it's in our own hands. We've still got 5 games left, and you know, it's in our own position that if we do our own job, that no one can touch us.